Okay, so you're looking to hire a SOAP developer. Smart move, especially if you're building those complex systems where reliability and security are like non-negotiable.
Absolutely.
But before we get into the nitty-gritty,
Uh,
um, let's do a quick level set.
hmm.
SOAP, stands for Simple Object Access Protocol, and it's all about ensuring that different applications can talk to each other, exchange information reliably and securely, even if they're built on totally different platforms.
Right.
We're talking about like large-scale enterprise systems where downtime is just not an option.
You got it.
Now, if you're serious about finding the perfect SOP developer, I got a little secret weapon for you. Head over to theperfectdeveloper.com and try out their 5 questions.
It's this amazing tool that helps you like pinpoint the best talent for your specific project. Needs those guys over at theperfectdeveloper.com. They really know their stuff.
They really do. And one of the most common questions we get is, what does a SOP developer actually do?
Yeah.
Right? Like, what does that actually look like day to day?
Beyond just knowing the acronym, what are
Exactly.
we talking about here? So, a SOAP developer is basically responsible for the entire life cycle of a SOP-based web service. We're talking designing, building, testing, deploying, maintaining, troubleshooting, the whole shebang.
Wow, the whole 9 yards?
Yeah. And they need to make sure all these different applications can seamlessly communicate, which often means wrangling complex data structures and security protocols.
So it's not just about like writing code, it's about understanding how all those pieces fit together in this big complex system.
It is. And that brings us to another important question. What skills should you actually be looking for when you're hiring a SOAP developer?
Okay.
ThePerfectDeveloper.com has a fantastic breakdown of this. And one thing's for sure, you need someone with a strong foundation in a few key programming languages.
All right, let's break it down. What are we talking about?
Well, Java is a big one, especially for those big enterprise level applications because it's so robust and scalable.
Yeah.
You'll also see C Sharp a lot in the SOP world. And of course, PHP and Python are always in demand just because they're so versatile.
So a solid grasp of those languages is a good starting point,
Hmm.
but I imagine it goes a bit deeper than that.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
What about skills that are specific to SOAP itself?
You hit the nail on the head there. A SOAP developer needs to be fluent in the SOA protocol itself,
Okay.
not just dabbling, like really understanding how it works.
Deep dive.
Exactly. And that means being comfortable with XML, which is the language used to structure all that data being exchanged, and then having experience with tools like SOPUI for testing and debugging their services.
So there's a whole ecosystem of tools and technologies that kind of go hand in hand with SOP development.
Absolutely. And let's not forget about security, because SOAP is often used to handle sensitive data.
Mm.
You need a developer who understands things like encryption authentication authorization.
Right.
They'll be responsible for making sure those transactions are secure and protected from any vulnerabilities.
Got it. So we've got the programming languages, the SOAP specific skills,
Hmm.
the security know-how. What else am I missing?
Well, there's one more crucial piece of the puzzle: database integration.
Oh.
SOP services often have to interact with databases to retrieve and store information. So your developer needs to be comfortable working with databases, whether it's a more traditional relational database like Oracle or a modern NoSQL database like MongoDB.
Okay, so now that we've got a better handle on what a SOAP developer actually does and the technical skills they bring to the table, let's talk about the elephant in the room budget.
Yeah, the million-dollar question: how much is this going to cost me?
Exactly. So how much are we talking about here?
Well, the perfectdeveloper.com playbook actually dives into this, and it's clear that salary ranges can vary quite a bit depending on a few factors. Location's a big one.
Yep.
As you might expect, the US tends to be on the higher end. Experienced developers easily pulling in six figures.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
What about other popular tech hubs like India or Australia?
India's become like a major player in the tech world. You can often find really skilled SOAP developers there at a much more competitive rate. Australia, on the other hand, is more in line with the US in terms of salary expectations reflecting their higher cost of living.
Okay, so location definitely plays a role. But what other factors kind of influence those salary ranges?
Experience is key. A developer with a decade of experience building and managing those complex OAP systems is going to command a much higher salary than someone just starting out. Think of it like paying for that deep expertise and proven track record.
Right, you're paying for peace of mind, basically.
Exactly. And the industry you're in also matters. If you're in a sector like finance, healthcare, or telecommunications, where security and reliability are absolutely paramount, you're competing for top talent. And that often means higher salaries.
So it's all about finding that sweet spot, between your need for top-notch skills and your budget realities.
Exactly. And that brings us to another important decision. Do you need someone full-time, part-time, or maybe outsourcing is a better fit?
Oh, wow. Hold on. There are so many options to consider. How do I know which path is right for my project?
Don't worry. ThePerfectDeveloper.com has some great insights on this too. It really depends on the scope of your project and your long-term needs. Full-time's great for ongoing development and maintenance, but it's also the biggest financial commitment. Part-time can be more cost-effective for those shorter-term projects, but you might have to deal with scheduling challenges. And then outsourcing can give you access to a wider pool of talent, often at a lower cost, but you'll need to factor in that communication and management overhead.
So it's a balancing act.
It is weighing the pros and cons of each approach.
Gotcha. But let's say you figured out the hiring model and you're ready to start evaluating candidates. How do you know you found the one?
Ooh, good question.
Right. Like, what should I be looking for beyond just a fancy resume?
ThePerfectDeveloper.com really emphasizes the importance of like a multifaceted evaluation process. Don't just rely on what's on paper. Dive deep into their technical skills. Ask about past projects, especially ones that involve SOAP web services. How well do they actually understand the intricacies of the protocol? What's their experience with specific frameworks and tools? And of course, how do they approach security?
So it's like a detective investigation trying to uncover their true capabilities.
It kind of is. But don't stop there. Remember those problem-solving skills we talked about? Put those to the test. Present them with real-world scenarios, maybe a web service issue they might encounter. See how they think critically, how they ask questions, and how they approach potential solutions.
That's a great way to gauge their ability to handle those pressure situations that inevitably pop up in any project.
Exactly. And here's something that often gets overlooked, soft skills.
I mean, things like communication, teamwork, all that good stuff.
Yep. Especially in today's world where remote work and flexible teams are becoming the norm, those soft skills are essential. Can they communicate clearly and concisely? Are they team players? Do they understand your business goals?
It's about finding someone who's not just technically competent, but also a good fit for your team and your company culture.
Precisely. And finally, never underestimate the power of references. Talking to previous employers or clients can give you invaluable insights into a developer's work ethic, their reliability, and their ability to deliver on promises.
So it's a holistic evaluation,
Mm.
considering technical skills,
hmm
problem-solving abilities, soft skills, and that real-world feedback from others.
Exactly. And remember, theperfectdeveloper.com is an incredible resource throughout this entire process. They've got the insights, the tools, and even a matchmaking service to help you find the perfect SOAP developer for your needs.
This has been such a great deep dive into the world of SOA developers.
It really has. And we've talked about those essential skills they bring to the table from, core programming languages to their expertise in the SOAP protocol itself, and even how important those soft skills are in today's collaborative work environments.
And we even touched on, the financial side of things, those salary ranges and different hiring models and how those decisions can really impact, your project success.
Absolutely. And let's not forget the importance of finding a developer who is not just skilled in today's technologies, but also ready to adapt and learn, as that tech landscape continues to evolve.
That's right. The tech world is always changing. Finding someone who embraces that change and sees it as an opportunity is key.
For sure.
But for our listeners who are ready to take that next step to start their search for that perfect SOAP developer, I want to remind everyone about that incredible resource we've mentioned throughout this episode, theperfectdeveloper.com.
Yeah, they really have created a one-stop shop for anyone looking to navigate, the world of developer hiring. Their playbook is packed with valuable insights, and their team of experts is ready to guide you every step of the way.
And of course, we have to give a shout out to their amazing tool, the 5 questions. It takes all the guesswork out of finding the right talent. You answer 5 simple questions about your project, and their algorithm does the heavy lifting, matching you with the best platforms, consultancies, or agencies to connect you with your ideal SOP developer.
It's such a time saver, no more endlessly scrolling through job boards or wading through mountains of resumes.
So if you're ready to simplify your search and find the perfect SOP developer for your project, head over to theperfectdeveloper.com and try the 5 questions today.
You won't regret it.
And with that, we've reached the end of our SOP developer deep dive. We hope you found this episode informative and maybe even a little bit inspiring.
We've covered a lot of ground, but the most important takeaway is this: finding the right developer is an investment in your project's success.
So go out there armed with knowledge and confidence and find that incredible developer who will help you build amazing things.
Happy hiring.